riperile makaya sithanda ukubonga ubaba Nqobo nalo baba wale eSoshangube athi uzovula izinja for our referees, but we hear you. Let's start with your team that Pirates versus Milford. We have noted that Pirates violated the new FIFA rules. Number one, Hoto throw in more than 5 seconds, the throw in was forfeited. We go to number two, 89th minute, corner kick, goal kick that in terms of the law, you must not take more than 5 seconds. Sipo China, ball goes out. Instead of him collecting the ball, he goes somewhere and talk to his players. Wah, 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 wah. But corner kick. So it shows Pirates did not do loss of the game beginning of the season. The same applies to Milford. Now they were punished by Christopher Kistor for violating the new rule. Mbunga there on the 70th minute. A throw in, you must not take more than 5 seconds. If you take more than 5 seconds, you will be punished or the throw in will be taken to the opposition. Again, still on the new rule, we saw Sekhukhune versus Durban City. We saw Brighton Lovu taken out, and then he had to stay outside the field of play for more than 1 minute. So that is the new rule. Now, coming back to Pirates Milford, we'll go into the offside situation that the guy from Soshangube is complaining. Yes, 52 minutes, we saw an offside or a flag raised from Butuma, who was deemed to be in an offside position, but when we draw the line, we realize that Mbotuma was actually onside. So incorrect decision by the assistant referee there to flag Ashisa Sekang. 81st minute, we saw a young ball, Hositsile, on the halfway line where he was flagged offside. When we look at the law says a player cannot be offside if he's in his own half of the field of play. The player was flagged offside for being in his own half of the field of play. Incorrect decision, Ashisa Sekang. The same assistant referee on the 85th minute, now he came back and you know, Muremi was played onside on the halfway line by the Siema. And then he did not flag this time, which was correct decision not to flag. Muremi took the ball. He eventually scored because it was on the halfway line. He outran everything. So correct decision by Thabo this time to allow play to continue. Let's move over to still on the same match. We saw Police taking a shot. It hits the hand of Tele, but the hand was in a natural position. So correct decision by Christopher Kistor not to award the penalty because Ayiko, when the hand is in a natural position, there's no handball offense committed. Let's go again to Siwele TS Galaxy. We saw a red card given to Maseti for handling the ball outside the penalty area. Right here we're talking about Doxo situation. When we talk about Doxo situation, we have the DDDC. Distance to play, we give it a tick. Direction of play towards goal. Number and location of defenders. There was one defender there. But now when you look at the last one is control of the ball or likelihood of the player gaining possession of the ball. Now, was there likelihood? The answer is yes. In terms of control, he did not have control, but likelihood of the player gaining control of the ball, the answer is yes, especially that the player deliberately handled the ball outside the penalty area. Kune line like rugby, maybe he's inside the penalty area, but he was outside the penalty area. So therefore, he denied an obvious goal scoring opportunity to Christian Siwele, who was going towards goal. So therefore, correct decision by the referee to give a red card for that opportunity that was denied. The last one, we're going to Richards Bay, Polokwane City, where we saw a penalty, corner kick. All we can say, the correct decision was taken at the end of the day. But the referee, his first decision was corner kick, which was correct. But somebody told him on his earpiece that possible handball, possible handball. Now, as he's trying to check, why do you say possible handball? Can you convince me that indeed you saw a handball? So they could not convince him. They tried to convince him. He says penalty, but as they were talking, and then he tried and ask. He tried and asked, why do you say penalty? And then eventually, the referee was not convinced. He said, no, I'm going back,
Let's take it back.
to my original position.
He says corner.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then from corner, he is then convinced. Not they try to convince him. He is convinced.
Yeah.
Hence, he changes his mind and says penalty. Now, we're going to deal with this in stages.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the first one.
Yeah.
He, as a referee, sees nothing wrong with that and says corner.
Yes.
And then he's convinced to say penalty. What or who convinced him to say penalty?
It's his other match officials, because...
Which one?
No, we can't say which one, but we'll tell you that
no.
there are four.
It wasn't the assistant on the right, because you can see the assistant on the right saying, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So it can't be the man that is the known, I'm going to say, use commas, invert, what is it called? Linesman, because just assistant referee.
Yes.
It can't be him. Because he says no, I don't know, right?
We did not hear the no, but all we can
But you
tell
see
you
him shaking his head.
All we can tell you is that there are four.
So then the fourth official also has to be ruled out, Tatana. The fourth official sits on the halfway line. There is no ways at the halfway line, the fourth official with his own eyes, without the intervention of any gadget that's in and around him, which he's not allowed to look at, which we're going to say, fine, he didn't look at it. How does he from the halfway line see something that happened in the penalty box with lots of players around him in a split second?
Yes, I will tell you that... the fourth official can see what is happening inside the field of play. But in terms of credibility, he's too far. But he can see and advise from where he is standing. But in terms of credibility, you're looking at the distance, he's too far. But he has a say to can say. So he said what he said. Unfortunately, they could not convince the referee. He went back and gave a corner kick. So now let's come to law. In terms of the law, did the ball hit the hand? The ball hit the bottom of the unpinned. So it did not hit the hand. Even if it hit the hand, but when it starts from any part of your body to the hand, it can't be handball. So Richards Blay, if you complain and say it was a handball, we can tell you now that the ball started somewhere before it hits the hand. So when it starts from the bottom of the armpit and to the hand, there's no handball offense committed. From the referee. The last one is about...
I'm like the referee, I'm not convinced by this.
Let's go to the last one where we talk about the stadium closure. The stadium is closed by the league. The reason being there's weeds growing that they need to spray and then rehabilitate the pitch. And there's also what we call scarifying of the pitch. Scarifying is when they, using the mower to remove everything that makes the pitch unplayable. And then they will do the fertilizing and top dressing. That will take around 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, PSL will assess if they are happy, and then it can be used again.
And there's growing weeds.
There's growing weeds, yes. And then, the type of grass that we use, we have the ray grass, which is soft, that is used at FNB, big stadium that play the World Cup. So there, it looks like there's kukuyi grass. Kukuyi does not, acclimatize to cold conditions.
Well, I'll let you go very quickly.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line on what ritualistic things we can do on the field? We've seen it. Is it water spraying, powder spraying, eggs, all of that? Is there a line we can draw to say this you can't do?
We start with the goalpost. Goalpost must be white in color. So if you put any other color, it's not allowed.
Okay.
Yeah. So the rest is when people spray things that will make a confrontation. That's where we have a problem. That's where referees.
But there's no laws or rules around it.
There's no law. That's why I wrote to IFAB.
I remember you wrote to IFAB to say, please
help us.
And help us.
So they said, let's take it to the competitions committee, of which I'm engaging the competitions committee, because I see now confrontation has started.
All right, thank you very much. Hey, the Hollywood Base exclusive Spina Zonke prize drops gives you the chance to win your share of